It's awful to say, but have you ever noticed that when your childhood PTSD symptoms are kind of up again, it's like you have a dark cloud around you that people can feel, and it pushes them away? I'm Anna Runkle, also known as the Crappy Childhood Fairy, and today I want to talk to you about that weird thing that can happen when abuse and neglect from your childhood are coming back to oppress you now. I call it the underdog effect. It's like an identity, an energy that can block our ability to connect with people and stop our healing right when we need it most. So some people call this dark cloud a vibe or a feeling, but a simple way of describing the underdog effect is it's a set of nonverbal signals that we communicate to other people, usually without any awareness we're doing it. Whether we intend it or not, we tell people about our inner state. If you're feeling like you hate yourself or that you don't belong or that people are against you, other people are going to be able to sense that when they're around you. And not through mind reading, but because we show those feelings with our words, our facial expressions, the way we dress, our posture, the way we respond to things or that we don't respond. And people can sense it. And we can sense it in other people too. Most of us have done it. We've given off the vibe or we've felt it in another person. And by the way, you can sense this in animals too, right? Like, have you ever met a dog who was abused in the past? And when you go, "Hey doggy, how's it going?" And the dog thinks they're in trouble and they get that sort of like guilty dog pose. Okay, we do that too sometimes. And before we even know what's going on, we think, "Oh, I must have done something inappropriate and I'm ashamed." And when I used to do that, I'd be ashamed for being ashamed. And I try to cover it by acting tough or cocky or just, focusing on myself too much and in the end just driving people away. Now, so childhood PTSD is so hard because when you're lonely, it makes you lonelier. When you're having a hard time, it makes everything harder. It's a downward spiral sometimes. Have you ever felt that? So what do you do to stop playing the underdog? I'm going to show you how to make it stop so you can get back on your feet and connect with people again and start taking positive actions again toward your healing. So first, let's look at what's generating that dark cloud. It begins with harsh events in our lives that maybe started in childhood, things like neglect or abuse that came from people you trusted. Most of us had some good experiences too, but if the bad stuff is big enough, it can get stuck in our idea of ourselves, our self-concept. And this can carry on for years or decades past the original hurt. You get so used to it, you don't even know that you're doing it. And it doesn't stop there. The unhealed wounds of the past can propel us into more wounding. Trauma begets trauma. And soon, even though we're trying hard and we never want to make things worse for ourselves, we're bringing more problems into our lives. And the problems go from existing in our outer circumstances to getting internalized and becoming part of our personality, part of our experience. Now, for some people, this is permanent, and that is tragic. But I'm here to tell you that the wounds of past trauma really can be healed. And it might take a lot of focus and self-mastery, but when you can face the part of the problem that you've internalized, this is a great day, because this is the part, not your parents, not their failure to ever recognize what they did to you or to apologize to you, not anything in the past. This, you, now, is the way that you get the power to change. Now, if you think you can't change until someone else changes, there are plenty of YouTube channels out there that will nurture that idea. Here, we're all about change within, even when you haven't started yet, or the change you managed to make today is so small you're embarrassed to tell anyone. But this is how you lose the underdog effect. You take back your power from whatever happened to you, and you start to change the things that are right in front of you. It's astonishing how much you can heal your self-esteem by changing the problems in your life right now. And this usually happens not on a grand transformation, but in many small steps taken over time. So are you with me so far? Let's talk more specifically about how to get free. If you could put it under the magic retrospectrometer, you'd see three things going on with the underdog effect. It's a combination of bad habits, faulty decisions, and distorted perceptions. So habits, decisions, and perceptions. We never chose to be this way. They're just common side effects of early trauma. And they came originally from our experiences like being neglected or judged or invalidated, ignored, stigmatized, bullied, or abused. Now, these are real wounds, and it wasn't our fault, but it's internalized now. So how will we change? Not by going back in time, not by trying to get an apology from the people who hurt us. I mean, that might happen, but even if they apologize, even if the world changed so these hurts never again happen to another kid, that would be great, but you would still have the habits and the faulty decisions and the difficulties with clear perception that you have right now. And that's what I mean when I say this is an inside job. Other people don't actually hold the key to healing your self-esteem. They can influence you, but you hold the key. Okay? You hold the key. Now, other people did harmful things, but now we play a leading role in setting our self-esteem right. Maybe you disagree with that. And believe me, there are hundreds of YouTube channels where you can get some agreement on that. But here and in my online courses and my coaching, we take the focus inward. We search out the things that we're doing to hold ourselves down because, yay, we can change those things. And I know you may not have been taught how to change your habits and improve your decisions or your perceptions, but I'm going to teach you now. So just to keep things simple, let's take the example of being late for work all the time. That's a bad habit. And if it's happening consistently, it's not an accident, it's a decision that's causing that. And assuming we want to have this job, it's a faulty decision or a whole series of faulty decisions to not get up on time, to leave all the work of getting ready till the last minute, to let ourselves get distracted, whatever the reason is. So anything I do that predictably risks that I'll be late is a faulty decision. Why would I do that? Why would I sabotage myself like that? Because I want to be on time. I want to keep my job. So we know from recent research that people who had trauma in childhood are often challenged to assess the risk involved in bad decisions. Neurologically, stress can bring on a temporary kind of dimming of the ability to gauge the potential consequences of, say, miscalculating the time it takes to get to work. Now, you can literally see this on an MRI when a person with childhood trauma is stressed. The left front cortex has less activity, and that's where reasoning happens. And the right front cortex, which is where emotions happen, get more active. So we wake up, we feel hurried. That's stressful. And then, oops, our brains start going all over the place and our perception distorts, and we make faulty decisions about when to leave the house, and then we're late, which brings on more stress. And you guessed it, the negative cycle starts again. Distorted perception, faulty decisions, bad habits. Now, our distorted perception can make it hard to see what is something happening to us and what is a problem that we are bringing on ourselves. So instead of adjusting how we do things, we rage at the traffic, or we resent our boss, or we feel judged by the other people who gave us a look when we walked in late. However it plays out, the end result is that we feel bad about ourselves. We feel low self-esteem and maybe confused and distrustful all the time. That is the underdog effect. That's what makes all other dilemmas confusing. However it plays out, the end result is that we feel bad about ourselves. We feel low self-esteem and maybe confused and distrustful all at the same time. That's the underdog effect. That's what makes all other dilemmas confusing. And that's how we generate that cloud around us that feels negative to other people. So how do we change this? It's easy to say society should change or there should be better treatment for trauma-related symptoms, and all that would be awesome. But here in present time, we have the immediate need to learn to see more clearly, which means keeping both sides of our brain up and running and helping us perceive and respond to reality. We need to make more rational decisions, and like everyone else, we need to keep working on our habits. A little bit better every day, a little bit better every day. And this may sound like a lot of work, but it's happy work with immediate payoffs. And it's a heck of a lot easier than staying stuck in trauma symptoms or trying to change other people instead of ourselves. So this is the essence of what I teach in my online courses. And if you want to check those out, there are links in the description section below. There's a free course where you can learn the basic techniques, or you can jump right into a more advanced program that teaches you the techniques along with the science of PTSD, and most importantly, a step-by-step process to apply the principles I'm talking about to your life and jumpstart that healing on multiple levels. It's not our fault we have childhood PTSD, but the great news is healing is possible. You can do this. There's more to say here than can fit in the video, so if you like, head on over to my website, learn more about how I approach healing, how I healed. It may be really different than anything you've tried before, but I lay it all out at crappychildhoodfairy.com. If you don't lead this effort of healing, who will? You are in charge of your healing. You get to ask for help, but you get to decide what works for you. And that's how you develop both strength and wisdom. This is your healing. So be brave and keep moving forward today.